Dear friends, I am Joe Pinto Stephen, a freelance journalist based in New Jersey, USA. I am so happy to introduce you Mr. Raveendran Narayanan, an ordinary man with extraordinary skills, visions and dreams. In this small video, you can see Mr. Thomas Koovalloor, a well-known yoga master and a social activist, interviewing Mr. Raveendran Narayanan. I am so happy to present it to you for your kind attention and consideration.
Can you please describe who you are and what you are?
I am Raveendran Narayanan from Kerala, India. I completed my diploma in mechanical engineering during 1972, and I was fortunate to go United Arab Emirates for getting a job with the help of my elder brother. Even though I was trying to continue my study in many subjects by attending many seminars, exhibitions, conferences, whatever which were getting free, I attended and acquired and improved my knowledge. During 1980, I was fortunate again to get a job in UAE Ministry of Electricity and Water, UAE. But the inferiority complex, site supervisor, was not interested about my progress. He was very suppressing me in many ways, because 40 pages of his papers were published in a local conference. So he terminated from my job, and I gave a letter to him, and he resigned from the department and went back to Egypt. But I stayed again there more than 20 years, and I started to improve my knowledge. I worked for Rasakirma Sheikh Palaces. That enabled me to go to UK 1989 World Congress on Water in Wembley, London. That improved my knowledge. Then I tried to get a job in Abu Dhabi government. I got it. That time I started to work in reverse osmosis, seawater desalination, and with the help of the German and Austrian scientists who were doing some research work to solve the problems. I followed them and I improved my knowledge, and my first paper was published by International Design Association, World Congresses on Water, and the director, Mr. Engineer Gordon Leitner, he was the director of that, and he is a consult engineer from Florida, Boca Raton, and he is having a home in Connecticut also. He encouraged me to join International Design Association. Many of my papers were published by International Design Association 95, World Congress 95, 95 in UAE, 97 in Singapore, in Spain, and again in the 2005 paper was not published in Singapore, and the same paper was published by Indian Design Association in India, conducted by Andhra University. My paper writing were not interested by many of the engineers from the site, and they stopped my passport to go Kuwait, and they stopped my annual leave to go Spain. By the time I sent a poster presentation for the Spain conference, and they presented there. October 14, 1997, I was terminated from Abu Dhabi Water and Electricity Department. By the time I was having a visit visa for America, UK and Spain. So I came to UK during 97 October, November 2024. And in the beginning I was making so many struggle because I was not having any friends or relatives. But I made it, and I didn't do any research and development work that time. Even though 2005 I submitted paper to Singapore, the DuPont cronies not published that paper. And if my paper was published, during 97 was published, then that should have solved the climate change problem.
So we heard that you are going to air conditioning the Mother Earth, and how it is possible?
Continuing education in total environment enabled me to collect seawater, oceans and seas analysis in 1980. And I accumulated this data, and nobody is having this data in the database. So during 1990 to 2009 first week, with a letter I requested many world oceans analysis for the report, but nobody is having that data in their database. Even though I requested to the Nuclear Regulatory Commission and they replied me they don't have their data. But by searching many research papers, many other people, and many of my friends sent me the data from different places of the Middle East. I collected some water samples from Coney Island and I made some chemical testing, and that color of that chemical tested water and the NASA's satellite images of Hurricane Katrina was matching each other. So from that I found that hurricanes are developing from this desalination water dumping, that is Indian Ocean. Through Indian Ocean it is coming to the Atlantic Ocean, and after the hurricane season, even during winter, this water is the concentrated water of 31,000 sodium chloride and 7,000 magnesium chloride going to the North Pole and South Pole and de-icing ice shelves during winter. There are two climate groups in the world. One is a carbon dioxide group, another is the skeptics. From this research and from the researchers found that the carbon dioxide is not changing the climate. If you build more ice masses and glaciers in the North Pole and South Pole, Himalayas and the Bolivia, we can reduce the temperature for 2 degrees centigrade down, so that it will be air conditioner, that is air conditioner Mother Earth.
I think this mission needs trillions of dollars to actualize this project. In your opinion, how much money is needed for this operation, and how can you raise such a huge amount?
Yes, IPCC declared before 4 years back that they need $76 trillion to the climate correction. But with my research and developed technologies, we don't need any money to air condition the whole Mother Earth. But if you follow my book named Environmental Rights and Human Rights Abuses Lead to Climate Change Control, 500 pages colored, with the stricter regulations and stricter enforcement. We are installing zero discharge systems in all the heavy duty desalination plants, particularly in the Middle East. We can air condition the Mother Earth.
Mr. Raveendran, what made you to get interest in this topic?
Nobody is having the oceans and water seas analysis. That is why I am having this oceans analysis since 1980. I acquired this from a study material of Glasgow University, UK. I didn't go and study there, but I accumulated. And I accumulated and collected many research and development papers, and I compared with this and I made tabulation and made a graph and found that hurricanes, climate change, global warming, everything will be corrected and we can do the air condition of Mother Earth.
There are thousands and thousands of scientists, well-known scientists working all over the world, like NASA and IPCC, etc., to correct the climate. What credentials can you claim for yourself?
I am a desalination engineer with more than 17 years experiences. One of my paper named Connections of Mushrooming of Desalination Plant in the Middle East and Environmental Disasters Around the World was supposed to be published in Dubrovnik 2009 conference in Croatia. But without availability, a written travel document, I was not able to go and present that paper during October 2009. From that date, I started to blog, and attachment copy of that 47-page paper was submitted to all the world leaders, environmental scientists, climate change scientists, global warming scientists. Nobody replied. Then I challenged them. Nobody replied. But Dr. Eric Shivan of MIT congratulated me and told me to proceed with. NASA and IPCC scientists, they are specialists in their own only one subject, carbon dioxide, and they are scaring the world. But I was a specialist in many fields, and I have the research and development and tabulated data with me that will prove that global warming can be solved by and reducing the 2 degrees centigrade, and we can air condition the Mother Earth. And I am now all over the internet. Nobody can stop me because climate change will be solved, the problems will be solved by those who are having in the oceans water analysis. So this climate war will be won by me. With the restricted regulations and enforcement, about my book soon to be published, environmental rapes and human rights abuses lead to climate change control. 500 pages full color. It is soon to be released and published. And that book will, if they follow the world leaders, the world government is following that book, we can easily reduce the temperature 2 degrees centigrade down, and that is the air conditioner of Mother Earth.
What benefit you are expecting from this project to the humanity and to the entire world?
With the research to develop technologies, we can minimize the water production cost, we can air condition the Mother Earth, and there will not be no sea rise. There will be more ice in both the North Pole and South Pole and the Himalayas and the Bolivia. That is air condition of Mother Earth. Once President John F. Kennedy told that those who are solving the world's water problem will get 2 Nobel Prizes, one for science and other for the world peace. And the economy will be very good after the air condition of Mother Earth.
It is my pleasure to interview you, and I wish you all success.
Thank you very much, dear Thomas Koovalloor.
Thanks, Mr. Jose Pinto Stephen, for giving me this great opportunity. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, Mr. Jose Pinto Stephen, and thank you very much, Mr. Thomas Koovalloor, the chairman of JFA, Justice for All America. Thank you very much.